The command chamber on the alien flagship was dark. A large, round table floated in the center. Above it, the stars of Earth's solar system shone on a holographic display. Around the table sat 5 high-ranking alien officers. Their skin was pale blue, and their eyes glowed faintly. They stared at the display, and one officer laughed. "Look at them," said Commander Vrox, his voice low and steady. "They still burn fuel to fly. They eat plants and meat. Primitive." Another officer leaned forward. "They have no warp drive. No quantum shields. Their weapons are old." A third Soken shook his head. "Yet they built satellites. They send signals into space. That shows something an inquisitive mind," Vrox sneered. "Curiosity is not strength. It makes them weak. We saw panic on their moon landing missions." He tapped a data pad. "Intel says humans break easily. They give up quickly." A low hum filled the chamber power from the flagship's engines. Vrox tapped his fingers. "We must confirm. But I doubt we'll find anything more." Thar used a finger to circle Earth. "On the hologram, shall we send a scout team? A small probe, our mind link scouts?" Vrox nodded. "Yes, a small team. If they are truly weak, we need minimal resources." Soken continued. "No need for full fleet. This is just to confirm the human planet is harmless." He smirked. "After that, we can move on to more useful worlds." Vrox rose. "Prepare the scout ship. I want to see their surface. Report back. That is all." They nodded. The display shut off. The stars in the chamber dimmed. Silence ruled, except for the ship's engine hum. Scene 2, Human Space Command. Earth orbit thousands of kilometers below. Earth rotated in silence. In orbit, a human space station monitored all incoming traffic. Lieutenant Sarah Malik watched the radar screens. She was young, serious, and fiercely dedicated. "Commander," she said to her superior. "Commander Reyes, we picked up a small object entering our orbit. It's not cataloged. Its trajectory is unusual." Reyes frowned. "Is it debris or a satellite?" Sarah shook her head. "No, small craft. Unknown signature." Reyes pressed his communicator. "Launch alert. Notify Earth High Command. Send a patrol probe." At her desk, Sarah felt her heart beat fast. Was this an alien ship? She recalled decades of searching, hoping, but also fear. Now maybe the moment had come. Scene 3, Scout. Team prepares far above, on the alien flagship's hangar deck. The scout team gathered. 4 aliens, 3 soldiers, and a pilot stood by a sleek, silver scout ship. It looked like an arrowhead. Its shields glowed soft cyan. The leader, Lieutenant Ralsha, looked at the others. "We go. Remember, we observe, we return. No conflict. Earthlings are not a threat." His second Nuran nodded. "If they resist, we withdraw?" Ralsha's mouth curved. "Yes, they are weak. We follow orders." The pilot, Vex, touched the ship's hull. "All systems green. I'll land and remain in contact." Ralsha turned to Yos, the 4th member. Yos was quiet. He watched the monitors. "Our intel is clear. Earth weak." Yos nodded slowly. "Then we will prove it." The hangar doors opened. The scout team climbed in. The ship hummed and lifted off. Ralsha sat in the pilot seat. Vex manned sensors. Dran and Yos strapped in. Scene 4. Back on Earth Station, the human patrol probe launched from station. It fast roared into the sky. Commander Reyes watched the monitor. At first, the probe turned toward the unknown object. Then it changed. "Wait." Sarah leaned in. "It's waiting," Reyes said. "It's testing us." Or is it lost? Sarah's fingers hovered over the console. "Control to probe. Identify yourself." Static. Then one faint ping. No signal. Reyes stood. "Send another." "Inform High Command." "Put feet on it." Sarah nodded and sent the orders. Scene 5. Scout ship drops into atmosphere on board the alien scout ship. Alarms flashed. Ralsha checked sensors. We're approaching atmosphere. Shields hold at current level. Vex adjusted engine thrust. Heat rising. Hold pattern. Ndran leaned forward. We go lower? Yes, Ralsha replied. We land in forest. No human cities. That's in case of panic. They dove below the clouds. The blue-green planet stretched out. Forest covers most of it. Oceans glint. Ed.Yos pointed to a clearing. There we land. The ship descended slowly. Trees in the breeze looked peaceful. Sensors showed no cities nearby. All clear. They touched down softly. Ralsha opened his visor. Forest air rushed in a strange mixture of oxygen and water. He took a breath. This is Earth. Scene 6, Earth Hidden Station, somewhere on the surface. Hidden deep beneath the forest. A small human special unit held position. They were not government soldiers, but a secret team, a mix of scientists and operatives. Captain Aina Qureshi led them. She wore a camo suit and held a rifle. Her eyes were sharp. Team, we have intruders. We picked up that signal entering atmosphere. They landed here. A scientist, Dr. Lee, nodded. Our seismic sensors caught the landing, and thermal scans match a small craft. Aina looked at the map. We move at night. They won't expect. U.S. Undercover, silent. Another operative, Marcus, double-checked equipment. Stealth drones ready. We go in 1 hour, Aina nodded. Remember, we can't start a war. We just need to capture intelligence. We don't know what they plan. They moved out. The forest was quiet. Crickets sang. Leaves rustled softly. They slid through trees with night camo. Good training. Years of planning. Scene 7. Moments before contact back on the scout ship, the alien stepped out. Ralsha pitched his voice low. Scan area, no human seen. Vex pointed to a monitor. Motion sensors picked movement 20 meters north. Yos raised his plasma rifle. Let's meet them. Ndran swallowed. Remember orders, no. Attack, Ralsha nodded. Approach with shield but no weapons raised. They walked toward the movement. Leaves crunched. They stepped with precision. Humans watched through night vision goggles. Aina whispered, wait for my signal. Scene 8, first encounter. A clearing opened. Ralsha and his team came into view. 4 tall aliens blinking in night lights. The forest was calm. Aina raised her hand softly. In English, she whispered, don't shoot until I speak. She stepped into the clearing. Her team stayed hidden. The aliens froze. Ralsha studied her. He had expected fear. Instead, a human stood firm. Calm. He spoke in halting English. You. Human? Aina answered. I am Captain Aina Qureshi, United Earth Forces. Yos whispered to Ralsha. They speak our language. Ralsha nodded. We come in peace. We are scouts. Aina didn't drop her rifle. You are on Earth without permission. You break all rules. Ndran tried to step forward. Ralsha held him back. She is real. We observe. Yos clicked a device. The humans signaled. A sound like a net release. Before the aliens knew it, they were captured. Energy nets glowed around them. Scene 9. Human secure aliens. Anna and her team sprang from hiding. They quickly secured the scout team. Ralsha tried to talk, but the net suppressed movement. He looked at Anna. He had never seen humans move like this. Surrender, Anna said. We are Earth defense. The aliens nodded. They were trapped. Ralsha glared, breathing fast, but said nothing. Aina signaled, bind them. Gear them in. Restraints. They go to underground base. Her team tied up the aliens and led them away. The forest swallowed them in darkness. The moon glowed above. Scene 10. Back at human base. The hidden base was underground, an elaborate network of tunnels. Lights were low. Computers hummed. The aliens were placed in secure cells. They struggled, but the nets and electrostraps held them. They looked around at steel walls and human guards. Ralsha glared again. "Release us. We respect your planet. Just release." Aina appeared, flanked by Dr. Lee. "Your ship enters Earth orbit without warning. You land, you don't tell." "US, that is aggression," Vex said. "We came to scout." "That is all." Lee stepped forward. "You lied about being harmless. How do we know your scout won't drop soldiers next?" Dran stared at the floor. "We obey Commander," Aina nodded. "We will question you. We will test your technology. Then we decide if you leave or we push you into our meeting." Ralsha, so. Eyes burned. "You threaten us? We have weapons." Aina smiled thinly. "Weapons or not, you are in our base, our rules." They left, shutting the metal door. Ralsha slammed the bars. "They are stronger than weak." Scene 11. Alien shock inside their cell. The aliens talked quietly. Andran said, "We thought humans were easy." Yo shook his head. "They are precise, calm under pressure." Vex whispered, "Even their net's better than ours." Ralsha paced. "We underestimated. We thought they break." Andran's voice was soft. "They do not break. They endure." Yo's turned to Ralsha. "What now?" Ralsha closed his eyes. "We wait. They will test us." Scene 12. Human leadership reaction in another chamber. General Smith, head of Earth Defense, listened to the morning briefing. Commander Reyes showed him holograms of the captured scout ship. "They tried to hide. We captured them. We have small tech with unknown energy patterns." General Smith tapped the table. "You mean we captured aliens?" Reyes nodded. "Yes, we have them under control. Minimal resistance." Smith leaned forward. "Good. We must still treat this with care. We do not start war. We interrogate. We assess threat." Lee added, "Their scout ship is advanced. It can cloak. Their shields mag plasma. We have samples." Smith nodded. "Keep it secret." World leaders don't need to panic. Reyes ended the meeting. Smith tapped his chair. "This is big. We must find out what they want." Scene 13. Alien home fleet. Back in the alien command chamber, Vrox watched data screens. He frowned. "To contact scouts." "No signal." Lothar said. Vrox slammed the table. "They lost comm." "That is impossible." Soken said. "They landed." "They must have lost signal or earth jammers." Vrox's eyes narrowed. "Send recovery team. Send full military escort." Thar said, "A fleet? For 4 scouts?" Vrox stared cold. "They said humans were weak." "They are not weak enough for scout level only." He tapped a pad. "Deploy military force. We will show them real power." Soken swallowed. "Full force? But that risks full war." Vrox smiled thin. "If humans are weak, they fall. If they fight, they break. We will know." Scene 14. Final hook and cliffhanger. The camera cuts between 2 scenes. Scene A. Humans in the base interrogate the aliens. Lee scans Ralsha's Esgear. Aina watches. She whispers, "Do you think they fear?" US. Ralsha's cold eyes flicker fear, just for a moment. Scene B. In orbit above Earth, an alien fleet awakens. Flags glow on hulls. Military ships launch. Voiceover deep calm. "They called us weak. They thought we would kneel. Now, we are here." Scene 1. Inside the human base, the alien scout team sat quietly in their containment cell. Their hands were bound. Blue light from the energy bars reflected on their faces. Ralsha didn't move. His eyes were closed, but his mind was racing. Os leaned toward him and whispered, "Still no signal?" Ralsha shook his head. "They blocked our comms. No contact, not even a beacon." Dran paced inside this small space. "They planned this. They knew we were coming." Vex looked around. "But how? Our ship was cloaked." Ralsha opened his eyes slowly. Maybe they are not as weak as we thought. Scene 2, Human Command Room Captain Aina Qureshi sat at a long table with Dr. Lee and General Smith. The mood was tense. Dr. Lee placed a small alien device on the table. It looked like a crystal with glowing lines. This, he said, was hidden in one of the alien helmets. It's not just communication, it's a data collector. It records everything they see. Smith raised an eyebrow. So they were spying. Yes, Lee replied, and possibly sending data back to their fleet. Aina frowned. But what if the data didn't go through? What if the fleet comes anyway? Smith leaned forward. Then we prepare. Scene 3, Alien fleet approaches high above Earth. The stars shimmered. In that dark space, something new appeared. One by one, alien warships exited light speed. The lead ship, the Bledesky, was 10 times the size of the Scout. Black and silver, with sharp wings and glowing engines. Commander Vrock stood tall at the front window. Status? He asked. 17. Ships in position, Lothar said. Scouts offline. No response. Vrox growled. We warned them. Another officer, Tursk, looked up. Should we send a warning message? VROX shook his head. No, we send fear. Prepare ground units. Begin entry path. Scene 4, inside the containment room. Ralsha sat cross-legged on the floor. His body was still, but his mind reached out. He focused, deeply, silently. A soft glow appeared on the side of his neck. A signal dot in his own language. He whispered, "We're alive." The humans are clever, dangerous. Be careful. Yos looked at him. Did it work? Ralsha whispered. Yes. A pulse went through. Not much, but enough. Scene 5, Sarah Malik returns back on the space station. Lieutenant Sarah Malik ran down the hallway to the command deck. She reached her desk and called out, "Sir." New readings. Commander Reyes stood up quickly. What is it? Sarah pointed to the screen. Massive ships just entered our space. Not from Earth. 17 total. Large signatures. Moving toward Earth's upper orbit. Reyes's face went cold. Alert Earth Defense Command. This is not a drill. Scene 6. World leaders react in a secure video call. Leaders from around the world appeared. The U.S. President, the Chinese Premier, and the UN Secretary General all stared at the same feed. The alien fleet approaching Earth. General Smith spoke calmly. We have 4 alien prisoners. Their fleet just arrived. They have not made contact. The French Prime Minister asked, do they know we have their people? Yes, Smith answered. And I believe they're coming to get them. Silence. The UN Secretary said, we must prepare for defense, but also, we must show strength. The Indian Defense Minister nodded. If they think we're weak, they will strike. Scene 7. Inside the alien prison cell, 2 armed human guards stood outside the alien cell. Inside, Ralsha suddenly stood and shouted, I must speak to your leader. The guards looked at each other. Ralsha continued, you must listen. We came to observe, not conquer. One of the guards called Aina. A moment later, she arrived with Dr. Lee. Aina folded her arms. Talk. Ralsha looked serious. Your response, how fast you captured us, your technology, your silence, it's not weakness. It's strategy. Lee raised an eyebrow. And your fleet? Ralsha nodded. They are coming. But they do not know what we know now. Aina leaned in. Then you better help us stop them. Scene 8. General Smith's choice in the war room. Aina briefed General Smith. If we release the scout team, maybe they can stop a war. Smith narrowed his eyes. Or maybe they lie to us and kill us the moment they're free. Dr. Lee added, we can keep one here as insurance. Aina nodded. Ralsha, he seems honest. Smith thought for a moment. Fine, let them go under. Escort, but if one thing feels wrong, we shut it all down. Scene 9. Alien rescue ship arrives as smaller alien transport ship entered Earth's atmosphere. The scout team was escorted to a landing pad by human soldiers. Vex, Yos, and Nuran looked back at Ralsha. You sure about this? Vex asked. Ralsha nodded. Someone must stay to make peace. Aina stood beside him. The alien team boarded. The transport, it lifted off. Ralsha watched it disappear into the clouds. I hope this works, Aina said. So do I. Ralsha replied. Scene 10. On the alien flagship, the returning scout team entered the command chamber. Vrox stood, his eyes burning. You were captured. And you let the humans live? Yos stepped forward. They captured us, quietly, no killing. They interrogated but didn't torture. They studied us. Indran added, They're not weak. Vex nodded. They tricked us. Controlled us. Vrox looked to Thar. Is this true? Lethar had doubts, but nodded slowly. We have no reason to disbelieve them. Vrox paced, angry. So, do we attack or do we leave? Scene 11. A hidden threat back on Earth, in the secret. Human base. Dr. Lee examined Ralsha's gear again. He found something strange. A small crystal. But it pulsed. Aina looked at him. What is that? Dr. Lee's eyes widened. It's a location marker. Someone else placed it. Not the scouts. Aina went cold. What do you mean? Lee whispered. Someone else. Might already be here. Another alien team. Watching. Scene 12. Twist ending and cliffhanger. That night, deep in the forest, a figure moved. Not human. Not one of the scout aliens. It was taller, slender, skin like glass. It placed a device on a tree trunk. It activated. A signal burst into space. A deep alien voice whispered in an unknown tongue. Phase 1. Complete. Cut to black. Text on screen. They thought we were fighting one enemy. They were wrong. Scene 1. A quiet, uneasy captain, Aina Korekshi, stared at the dark screen in the command room. A satellite image showed this strange device found. In the forest. It's not theirs, Dr. Lee said, pointing at the glowing signal. You're sure this wasn't the scout team's? Aina asked. Lee shook his head. It's a different tech, more advanced. Cleaner. It sends signals we can't even decode. Aina narrowed her eyes. Then who put it there? Lee said nothing, but everyone in the room felt it. Something else was out there. Scene 2. Ralsha's warning inside the human base. Ralsha sat quietly, eyes closed. He was thinking, listening. He could feel something off. When Aina entered, he opened his eyes. You found the signal, didn't you? He asked calmly. Aina raised her brow. How did you know? Ralsha stood. Because I felt it. That's not from my people. That's not our technology. Aina stepped closer. Then who does it belong to? Ralsha looked uneasy. I don't know their name, but we call them the Watchers. Scene 3. Alien High Council. Flashback in a memory. Ralsha stood before a grand council of his own species, giant figures sitting in shadows. A voice echoed, You must observe the humans. Learn them, but beware, if the Watchers appear, retreat immediately. Ralsha had asked then, Why are they dangerous? The voice replied, Because even we fear them. Scene 4. Orbit showdown above Earth. The alien flagship, Vladesky, floated, surrounded by 16 other warships. Inside, Commander Vrox still debated with his officers. Ralsha is compromised, he said. He lives with humans now. Thar replied, He sent warnings. And he stayed behind to build peace. Vrox growled. I do not trust peace. I trust force. But before he could continue, alarms blared. Tursk shouted. Unknown ship entering the system. No ID, no signature, stealth class. Everyone froze. Vrox narrowed his eyes. Humans? Tursk shook his head slowly. No, something else. Scene 5. Sarah's discovery on Earth's orbital station. Sarah Malik stared at the screens. "Commander Reyes," she said quietly, "I think we have a bigger problem." He turned. Sarah pointed to a new shadow on the screen. "That's not from Earth, and it's not from the scout fleet either." Reyes leaned in. "Is it hostile? We don't know," she said. "But it's not answering hails. It's just watching." Scene 6. A dead forest. 2 human soldiers walked into the deep forest, where the strange device had been found. "Didn't Aina say wait for backup?" one asked. "Yeah, but we'll just scout the spot, in and out." They found the tree with the device, but the device was gone. Then they saw something strange. Black ash covering the grass. But the trees weren't burned. Suddenly, one of them looked up, eyes wide, mouth open. The other turned. Something dropped from the trees, fast, silent, screams. Never reached the radio. Scene 7. Missing teen. Back at the base, Aina looked at the monitor. 2 red markers blinked. "Where's the recon team?" she asked. A soldier replied, "We lost contact 30 minutes ago. No visuals. No audio." Dr. Lee stepped forward. "We should assume the worst." Aina whispered, "So it begins." Scene 8. Ralsha's revelation that night. Ralsha sat with Anna in the base's secure room. He explained slowly, "The Watchers don't conquer worlds. They reset them." Anna looked confused. "Reset?" "They remove species that evolve too fast," he said. "They see it as a threat to balance. If humans grew strong, they may be marked for deletion." Aina clenched her jaw. "And you knew this?" Ralsha nodded. "I pray it was only legend. I was wrong." Scene 9. A choice for Vrox in the Bladeski. Vrox stared at the black dot, moving near his fleet. Tursk said, "If that's who we think it is, we must run." Vrox laughed bitterly. "And leave Earth behind?" Thar said, "This isn't about humans anymore. We may all be targets now." For the first time, Vrox looked uncertain. Then he said, "Get me a direct link to Earth's leader." Scene 10. Unlikely alliance. Anna's screen lit up. She saw Vrox's sharp, armored face. "I am not your friend," he said, "but we have a shared enemy now." Aina replied, "Then we fight it together." Behind her, Dr. Lee whispered, "We barely know what it is." Ralsha stood beside them both. "Then it's time we find out." Scene 11. First contact. The black ship entered low Earth orbit. A strange pulse went out across the planet. No words. Just a feeling. Some humans fell unconscious. Others heard whispers. Children cried. In the forests, birds stopped singing. On the ships in space, screens turned black. Then a single message appeared on every screen, in every language. "Step back. This species is not ready." Scene 12. Cliffhanger twist. Later that night, in a hidden human research facility, a young scientist studied the strange pulse signal. He listened carefully. Suddenly, he heard something hidden inside. A voice, deep, metallic. Repeating in English, "That some of them will be useful." The scientist's eyes widened. He reached for the alarm, but before he could press the button, a shadow moved behind him. The lights went out. Cut to black. Text on screen. "This is no longer just about humans. The game has changed." Scene 1. Darkness in the lab. Dr. Amir was young, smart, and curious. Too curious. He had stayed late, studying the pulse signal from the unknown alien ship. When the lights went out, he froze. A soft sound came from behind. A whisper of movement. "Who's there?" he said. No answer. He reached for the emergency light under the table. Suddenly, something grabbed his wrist. A tall figure stepped out of the shadows. It was not human, and not from the scout alien species. Its face was smooth, pale, almost invisible. No mouth, just 2 glowing eyes. The creature tilted its head. Then it spoke inside Amir's mind. "You decoded our message. That was a mistake." Scene 2. The aftermath. The next morning, Anna Qureshi walked into the lab. The lights flickered. The room smelled like burned wires, and Amir was gone. Dr. Lee examined the station logs. Everything's been wiped. Video feeds, files, backup, gone. Aina's voice was cold. How does a ghost delete military systems? Ralsha stepped forward. It wasn't a ghost. He looked at the burn marks on the wall. This is Watcher tech. They were here, Lee frowned. But why leave no trace? Ralsha replied softly. They don't want a war. Yet, they want us to know we're helpless. Scene 3. Vrox loses control high above Earth. The alien commander Vrox stood in the dark war room of the Bledesky. His fleet had gone silent. Their communication systems were jammed. Lethar reported, every long-range scan is down. Internal comms are scrambled. Vrox slammed his fist into the control table. They are inside our systems? Tursk nodded. We think the Watchers infiltrated the network. They may be listening to us right now. The room went silent. Then, Vrox gave the order, arm all weapons, aim at the black ship. Thar looked shocked. That could start a war we can't win. Vrox growled, we're already in one. Scene 4, Earth's choice. Back at the human base, a secret meeting was held. Representatives from 4 countries sat across from Aina, Ralsha, and Dr. Lee. One man in a dark suit spoke first. We want to launch a preemptive attack. We've created a virus, something that might break the Watcher's systems. Dr. Lee's eyes widened. You developed a cyber weapon? Against them. The man nodded. It's our only shot. Aina looked at Ralsha. Thoughts? Ralsha shook his head. You don't poke a sleeping giant, but Aina sighed. What if the giant is already awake? Scene 5, backfire begins in an underground server room. Earth's top engineers uploaded the virus into a modified satellite. The plan was simple. Shoot the code into orbit, near the Watcher ship. The satellite launched silently. Everyone watched. On monitors, on the edge of space, the signal was sent. For one moment, everything seemed normal. Then the sky turned white. A massive pulse hit every satellite, every power grid. All screens went black. All planes in the sky lost control. Phones, lights, radios dead. Even the alien scout fleet above Earth shut down. Scene 6, global panic across Earth. Panic spread like wildfire. Planes crashed. Cities went dark. Hospitals lost power. Nuclear reactors went offline. In Tokyo, traffic lights died midday. In New York, people screamed in the subway. In Moscow, soldiers were sent into the streets. On the International Space Station, oxygen levels dropped. Inside Aina's base, emergency lights flickered on. Dr. Lee stared at the system logs. The virus didn't hit them. It bounced back. Ralsha looked horrified. You tried to attack their mind. They just rewired yours. Aina whispered. It backfired. Scene 7, the warning then. All screens turned on at once. A black background. One word appeared. Everywhere. Double quotes. Observe. Then a second line. Your weapons are now ours. Aina looked at the soldiers. Check our nukes. One returned moments later, panicked. Every launch code is locked by them. Scene 8, Vrox's mutiny. Back on the Bledesky, Vrox was furious. They hacked us too. His second-in-command, Tursk, stepped forward. Commander, it's over. We cannot win. This, Vrox drew his weapon. Coward. But before he could fire, 3 guards tackled him to the ground. Lothar gave a cold command. Put him in containment. He will start a war that destroys us all. The guards dragged Vrox away, screaming, You're all fools. They'll burn you next. Scene 9, secret deal. That night, Aina met privately with Ralsha and Lee. Aina asked, Can we still talk to the Watchers? Lee shrugged. We can try, if they want to listen. Ralsha nodded. I know a way, an ancient signal. But it's dangerous. Aina leaned forward. Do it. Scene 10, The response the signal was sent into deep space using an old beacon. Hidden in Earth's polar orbit, they waited. For hours nothing happened. Then a voice came through. Not over speakers, but directly into their minds. Cold, inhuman, calm. You touch the fire, you must feel the burn. Ralsha knelt shaking. Aina stood firm. We did what we had to. You left us no choice. The voice paused. Then whispered. Then, we will leave you one chance. Scene 11. Countdown. The voice continued. In 7 rotations, we return. If your kind shows balance, we observe. If not, we reset. The line went dead. Dr. Lee looked confused. 7 rotations? 7 days? Aina nodded. Then we've got 1 week. To prove humanity deserves to live. Scene 12. Cliffhanger. Secret uprising far below Earth. In a dark desert facility, someone watched all this unfold. Not a soldier. Not a general, but a group of humans in black coats with no names. They whispered in hidden rooms. Their leader, known only as the architect, stood watching the skies. We can't trust aliens, he said. Not theirs, not the others. Not even our own, one agent asked. Then what do we do? The architect turned. Simple, he said. We build our own future. He opened a metal door. Inside was a lab. And inside the lab, something was moving. Metal, bone, wires. A new kind of soldier, built not for peace, but for war. Cut to black. Text. On screen, 7 days, 1 chance, 1 mistake. And it all ends. Scene 1. Shadows move at the edge of the city, under flickering streetlights. A group of black-clad figures gathered. They didn't wear uniforms. No badges. Just shadows. The leader, known as the architect, stood tall and calm. We've been patient, he said, voice low. But the Watchers decide our fate in days. He looked around. We cannot wait for mercy. We must strike first. Scene 2. Underground lab deep beneath the desert. The architect walked into a huge lab. Scientists worked quietly, building machines that looked part human, part robot. These soldiers won't tire, the architect said. They won't question orders, a scientist asked. But what if the Watchers find out? The architect smiled coldly. Then we fight a war they can't see. Scene 3. Anna's dilemma at the base. Aina Kurishi reviewed satellite images. Dark spots appeared in places no human or alien ships had gone. Hidden ships? She asked Dr. Lee. Lee nodded. And they're moving fast. Ralsha frowned. Not Watchers, something else. Aina clenched her fist. We have no time for secrets. Scene 4. Secret battles in the dead of night. Small teams of soldiers disappeared into forests and mountains. They fought shadowy, enemies neither fully human nor alien. Each skirmish was silent and deadly. On one battlefield, a soldier named Mark barely escaped. He radioed back. They're using stealth tech. It's not Watchers, it's something new, and they're hunting us. Scene 5. A new ally. One morning, Ralsha brought a visitor to Aina's base. A tall figure, cloaked and quiet. I am Kreth, he said. We are a faction who oppose the Watchers and the alien scouts. Aina studied him. Why help us? Kreth's eyes glowed faintly. Because if the Watchers win, no one survives, not even us. Scene 6. Hidden Truths. Kreth revealed a hidden history. Long ago, his people fought the Watchers and lost. Many worlds fell, he said. But we escaped, hiding in the shadows of space. Aina's heart sank. We are not alone in this fight. Scene 7. The architect's plan. Back underground. The architect's machines hummed. He watched news reports of chaos on Earth. We will not let aliens or Watchers decide humanity's fate, he said. He turned to his team. Prepare the first wave. The hidden war begins now. Scene 8. Aina's choice. Anna stood before her team. We face enemies we don't fully understand, she said. But we will not give up. Ralsha added, "Trust will be hard to find." Dr. Lee said, "But we must try." Aina looked at the stars. This war is no longer just about survival. It's about what kind of future we want. Scene 9, cliffhanger in a secret room. The architect smiled. On a screen, a countdown ticked down from 7 days, but his eyes focused on a new project, a human-machine hybrid. Let the hidden war begin. Scene 1, quiet before the storm. The sky was dark, but the stars shone clearly above Earth's orbit. Aina Qureshi sat alone, looking at the data streaming on her tablet. The Watcher's countdown was ticking fast. 7 days. 6 left, she whispered. We need a plan. Scene 2, new threats. Dr. Lee entered with urgent news. Several human settlements reported strange disappearances. Aliens? Aina asked. No, something else, smaller, faster. Ralsha nodded. The hidden enemies are becoming bolder. Scene 3, Krith's warning. Krith stood before the council. The Watchers watch all. But the hidden enemies want more than just observation. Aina frowned. More than what? Krith's eyes glowed brighter. They want control. Control over Earth and its people. Scene 4, the architect moves. Deep underground, the architect's machines powered up. His new soldiers, half human, half machine, were ready. We fight shadows with shadows, he said. Humanity's future is in our hands. Scene 5, first clash in the forests near the base. Aina's team encountered the hidden enemies. The battle was fierce, but quick. Aina watched as one of her soldiers was captured. We need to find out who they are, she said. Scene 6, Vrox's fate on the Bladeski. Vrox was locked in a dark cell. He screamed for release, but Thar told him, "You failed." Now we prepare for the coming storm. Vrox clenched his fists. This isn't over. Scene 7, a secret message at night. Aina received a strange transmission. A voice, soft and broken, said, "Help us. The architect is not what he seems." Aina froze. Scene 8, trust tested. Aina gathered her team. We must face enemies from all sides. Ralsha warned, even allies may betray us. Dr. Lee added, the Watchers will judge us soon. Aina looked determined. We will be ready. Scene 9, final countdown. The Watchers' message echoed in their minds. Balance or reset. Aina whispered, we have 5 days left. The storm was rising. Scene 10, cliffhanger in the desert lab. The architect smiled at his creation. Let the rising storm begin. Scene 1, gathering forces. Aina stood before a crowd of soldiers and scientists. We have 4 days left, she said. Enemies are closing in from the Watchers, the hidden faction, and even some within us. Ralsha added, we must unite or fall. Scene 2, the architect's secret. In his hidden lab, the architect activated a new weapon. It was not just a soldier, it was a thinking machine, designed to adapt and evolve, he said. This is humanity's last hope, or its doom. Scene 3, unexpected. Alec Rith arrived with urgent news. The Watchers faced trouble in their command fleet. They need us alive, Aina thought hard. We must decide who to trust. Scene 4, the hidden war escalates. Skirmishes erupted worldwide. In dark cities, shadows clashed. In forests, humans fought machines. Aina's team fought bravely, but the cost was high. Scene 5, a risky plan. Aina proposed a plan. We send a small team to the Watcher's ship to negotiate, Ralsha warned. They may kill us on sight. Aina nodded. It's our last chance. Scene 6, journey to the Watchers. Aina, Ralsha, and Krith boarded a small ship. As they approached the Watchers' massive vessel, tension filled the air. Scene 7, the meeting inside the Watchers' command room. A cold voice spoke. You seek mercy, but show weakness. Aina stood firm. We seek balance, we want peace. Scene 8, the Watchers test. The voice said, 7 days is nearly over. Your actions will decide your fate. Aina felt the weight of all humanity on her shoulders. Scene 9, Return to Earth. Anna's team returned. They found Earth in chaos. The hidden war was far from over. Scene 10. Cliffhanger back in the desert. Lab. The architect watches ship on the screen. He smiled. Time is running out. But hope is in the storm. Scene 1. The clock ticks down. Anna stood in the command center, watching the timer. 1 day left. The whole world held its breath. The Watcher's warning echoed in every mind. Balance or reset. Scene 2. Last preparations across Earth. Humans prepared. Soldiers checked their weapons. Scientists worked on final plans. The architect's soldiers stood ready underground. Scene 3. Betrayal. Revealed. Anna discovered a secret. One of her trusted officers was working with the hidden enemies. The betrayal shook the team. Anna tightened her grip on hope. Scene 4. The final battle begins. The hidden enemies launched a massive attack. Cities burned. Fires lit the night sky. Anna led the defense, fighting fiercely. Scene 5. Vrox is returning the chaos. Vrox escaped his prison. He appeared in the battle, not as an enemy, but as a wild card. I fight for my people. And now maybe for yours, he said. Scene 6. The architect's choice. The architect's machines moved into battle. But as the fighting grew worse, he faced a choice. Use his soldiers to destroy everyone or help save humanity. Scene 7. Anna's final plea. Anna reached out to the Watchers once more. We have fought. We have bled, but we choose peace. The voice replied softly, then prove it. Scene 8. The test of balance. Suddenly, a wave of energy swept over Earth. People felt it in their hearts and minds. A chance to change, to grow stronger together. Scene 9. Aftermath. Hidden enemies vanished. The Watchers withdrew their forces. Vrox disappeared into the stars. Earth was scarred, but alive. Scene 10. New dawn. Anna looked at the rising sun. We survived. Ralsha smiled. For now. The architect stood beside them, machines silent. A new future begins. Final text on screen. Balance is fragile, but hope endures. The end.